The gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Sensenbrenner, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Comey, welcome. Who authorized granting Cheryl Mills immunity?
I'm sorry?
Who authorized granting Cheryl Mills immunity?
It's a decision made by the Department of Justice. I don't know at what level inside. In our investigations, any kind of immunity comes from the prosecutors, not the investigators.
Okay. Did she request immunity?
I don't know for sure what the negotiations involved. I believe her lawyer asked for act of production immunity with respect to the production of her laptop. That's my understanding. But again, the FBI wasn't part of those conversations.
Now, it's been a matter of public record that Secretary Clinton brought 9 people into the room where 2 FBI agents were questioning her. Is that normal practice?
No, there is a normal practice. I've been done interviews with a big crowd and some with just the subject. It's unusual to have that large a number, but it's not unprecedented in my experience.
Now, Cheryl Mills, also stated that she was an attorney. I'm very concerned that when a fact witness represents a client who might be the target of an investigation, there's a conflict of interest, and rather than letting Ms. Mills make a determination, would the FBI be willing to refer the matter of a fact witness, Ms. Mills in this case, representing a target, Secretary Clinton in this case, to the appropriate bar association for investigation?
That's not a role for the FBI. We're even though I happen to be a lawyer, we're not lawyers, we're investigators. Okay. So that's a question for the legal part of the Department of Justice.
Okay. Why did Ms. Mills request immunity? Was she hiding something, or was she afraid that something would incriminate her that was on her laptop?
I don't know. I'm sure that's a conversation she and her lawyer had, and then her lawyer had with lawyers at the department. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was an op-ed by Professor Jonathan Turley that appeared in the media that said that there are a lot of good cases scuttled by granting immunity, and there was lots of immunity that was granted here. Doesn't it concern you as an investigator that your chiefs in the Justice Department decided to become an immunity-producing machine for many people who would have been very key witnesses should there have been a prosecution?
I don't think of it that way. It doesn't strike me there was a lot of immunity issued in this case. I know it's a complicated subject, but there's all different kinds of immunity. There's probably 3 different kinds that featured in this case. Fairly typical in a complex white-collar case, especially as you try and work your way up towards your subject. So my overall reaction is this looks like ordinary investigative process to me.
Well, the target was not an ordinary target. I think we all know that. And since you announced that there would be no prosecution of Secretary Clinton in July, there have been several very material issues that are troubling. And would that not require a reopening of the investigation to solve those issues?
I haven't seen anything that would come near to that kind of situation.
Oh.
I know there's lots of questions, lots of controversy. I'm very proud of the way this was done.
Well, come on now. With all, due respect, since you made this announcement, there have been many more issues that came out that were not on the table prior to your announcement that the investigation against Secretary Clinton had been dropped. And I think the American public is entitled to answers on this, particularly since we have to know, the extent of the classified information which ended up being in the private email server. All of us on this committee have got security clearances of some kind or another. And I'm kind of worried that, if I got some classified information and went back to my office and used an unsecured server to send it to somebody who may also have had a classified information, I would be in big trouble, and I should be in big trouble if I did something like that. There seems to be different strokes for different folks on this, and that's what Americans are concerned about, particularly when we're looking to elect someone to the highest office of the land and the leader of the free world. I don't think your answers are satisfactory at all, Mr. Comey. I do have a great deal of respect for you, but I think that there's a heavy hand coming from someplace else, and with that, I yield back.